Okay. So here we are. Where I'm in my Mustang. It's Mustang Monday, and I'm with my friend Laurel Miller. She and her husband own a Glass Doctor. Do you call it a franchise? Yeah, Glass Doctor franchise in Murrieta. Say hi, Laurel.
Hi.
So, Laurel is a certified badass, and she's also a friend of mine. And I've been sharing a lot about the friend that held me accountable to drive the Mustang, which I would say it's like Laurel was kind of my inspiration for Mustang Mondays. So, so I'm really thrilled that you agreed to play with me.
Absolutely.
So you know what this is Mustang Mondays is about badass tips from the streets. But I don't always want it to be me thinking that I'm going to be giving all the tips. I want to talk to other certified badasses and about some of the things that make you badass and how you learned that you're badass, or even just accepted that you were. But also, we were having a conversation about being an encourager. Mm-hmm. I call you an accountability partner, but maybe that's not really the right term. But you basically have been such an encouragement for me, personally and professionally. And I just, that's what you do. So some of the things that you do, because you have a staff and you have your friends and your groups that you're involved in. So would you say that that's one of your strengths, is to be an encourager?
I think so. What I found out in business, which is so very different than the corporate world, is that women business owners are very encouraging for another. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't matter what widget you sell, what it is that you do, but you need advice and you need encouragement from time to time, from somebody else to say, yes, I see you struggling in this area, I can help you with that. Or sometimes it's just a matter of just listening.
Yeah, just listening.
Just listening, let them walk through it, let them talk through it, and then the answers will come.
Mm-hmm. So how do you encourage your staff? Because you have a team of how many?
There's 9 of us all together.
9?
Yeah.
So small business, but you do a lot of volume in business. Mm-hmm. So you're busy.
Yes.
And I'm sure that there's a lot of stress that goes along with being busy.
There is.
Just in general, just operating a business. So how do you stay encouraged yourself while also encouraging your team?
Gotta pray.
You pray? That's good.
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I do often, and probably not nearly as much as I should, but definitely this business teaches you to try to be patient, to try to be more understanding, to try to be more open-minded about how others feel and think. Mm-hmm. Generationally, we think things through differently. We have different work habits, but just trying to pull those all together. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes a hefty prayer in the morning to get going.
Okay, so when you say prayer, and it's like, and I know that we're both faithful women, mm-hmm. but also prayer can be like setting your intention, which is what prayer is, right?
Yes.
It's setting an intention to have a good day or to be able to handle the problems that are going to come your way.
Yes.
It's like I often encourage, like on Monday, people hate Mondays usually, right? Which is why Mustang Monday is so good, or that good idea, because
sets you off on the right foot.
It sets you off on the right foot. It's like, or driving down the road right, and so I know that for me, it's like I have to set my intention every single day mm-hmm. to have that positive mindset, and a lot of times that's where it starts.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, because I know that I don't have all the answers to every problem.
No.
Nobody does.
No.
But we always need somebody who can be an encouragement to us. Mm-hmm. So even though you may not be completely aware of what somebody's personal problems are or how their weekend was, you have the emotional intelligence to know that we're all alike here. We all have stuff, mm-hmm. and I'm going to be an encourager somehow to you today. Mm-hmm. Because
lift somebody up.
Yeah, lift somebody up. But you do it in other places than just your business, though, don't you?
I try. Mm-hmm. I try to be that way mm-hmm. with most.
Well, I know that you have with me, and you have with me been such a great encourager, and I know that you also have found your way into several different kinds of networking groups, and that's mm-hmm. also part of your personal and professional growth as well, right?
Before getting into business, and even just getting started, becoming aware of the people and the other businesses that are here in the valley, I didn't know anything about networking. I really didn't, and I didn't know where to start on our business. But I did get involved with a couple of really good organizations, and they taught me to basically to give back. And when you're first getting started in business, more often than not, you've got more time than you do money.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing you can do is you can volunteer. You can give out and give your time. And whether it's to a religious group or it's, there's a couple of groups that I belong with and they're just women. And it's not just women, but it's really great women, and they're there to encourage each other along.
Mm-hmm.
But I think oftentimes we don't know how good it feels to give back either to the community or to somebody else, and have somebody just genuinely thank you for taking the time.
Which is an encouragement for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I always talk about like flipping the format. And one of the things that I've learned about myself, what I learned was that my greatest strength was being a learner. But I would spend so much time learning that I wouldn't do. You know?
It can be a problem.
And so I learned, I had to realize that I needed to flip that. And so the do for me meant to teach. So you have a strength of being an encourager, but meanwhile you also need to flip that so that you allow yourself to be encouraged.
Yeah, I
Right?
do. And I'll just give you a quick little example. I'm on the board for the Santa Rosa Plateau Education up here. And I was having a real crappy week. And it was dragging out a few days. But we had this luncheon for all the volunteers on Saturday. And we go up there, and I get to serve the rolls and the butter to 100 people and just chat with them.
Mm-hmm.
They lifted my spirits so much.
Yeah.
And it was just
One simple task.
one simple thing pulled
Yeah.
me out of my funk,
Yeah.
and it put a smile back on my face.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great example, and that's a great tip. So the tip for somebody, if you were to give a badass tip about being an encourager or finding encouragement, what would you tell somebody?
I would tell them to find a way to give back.
Find a way to give back.
Give back. Give of your time. It can be an animal rescue. It can be at the senior center. It can be the Boys and Girls Club. It can be anything under the sun. But if you can give some time of yourself to somebody else, all of a sudden your little woes, they appear as they really are. Small.
Right. And like you said, it's like even if you're just starting out or you're trying to make a change and you don't have a lot of money, but you have time, your time is often much more valuable
Yes.
than the cash that you think that you should be giving, right? Because you have value.
Yes.
And your skills have value, and your showing up has value.
And you don't have to devote 40 hours a week to it. Maybe it's making 40 phone calls in a month, and you break that down. And
It's like, yeah,
1.25 phone calls a day.
right.
Most anybody can do that.
Yeah.
But it's just giving your time to for the greater good,
Good.
and expecting nothing back.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you. What a
You're
great
welcome.
tip. So this is Laurel Miller. She's co-owner of the Glass Doctor in Murrieta.
Yes.
And she's a certified badass in my book. That's for sure. Yeah. Good. So thank you for joining me on Mustang Monday
Thank you for having me.
as being my inspiration for it. Okay.